up? What's up? What's up? All right, going live here on YouTube. I've been neglecting you guys. Cool. Let this go on. Okay. How you guys doing? What's up, YouTube? Hope I'm doing this right. I don't see any questions on the screen. All right, cool. All right, so check this out. So if you guys have been following my Instagram, you know I've been doing a lot of lives on there, basically practicing, getting ready for you guys here on YouTube. I'm not sure I'm doing this right. No. There we go. All right, cool. Logging in. Welcome to the chat. All right, so check this out. So, recapping today. All right, cool. All right. Okay, people. I don't see anything here. Oh, there it is. There it is. There you go. Now we're getting it. Now we're getting it. All right, cool. All right, check this out. So when you guys come into the chat, let me know your ages and what city you're from. Just trying to fill you guys out. You know, I do that a lot on Instagram. I try to find out the demographic so I can get some consistency in doing the actual live. So today's topic is going to be what I talked about earlier today, and that was actually check-ins for all my clients and how you miss a check-in or you skip a check-in, the reasons why you might be doing that. And as I'm talking about this, just start loading the questions in. Let me know where you guys are from, and we can get this rolling. Bear with me. This is my first time doing it on my iPad. I did it on the computer before, but now I'm doing it on the iPad. All right, cool. I don't see any questions there. Yeah, let's start the questions. Yeah, what do I think about Blessing's appearance? Oh, I think he's a big guy. You know, he got a lot of social internet fame from doing his funny videos and stuff like that. And everybody's waiting to see what he's going to do with the Arnold Australia. I think that's going to be his first pro debut. He's big. He's a big guy. I mean, but you know something? Now, I'm not the kind of guy that knocks everybody, but I am an honest guy. So what I'm telling you, I need to see him next to somebody else. I need to see what he looks like next to a pro bodybuilder, because everybody looks relatively well when they stand by themselves. So I want to see him next to a pro bodybuilder and see how he stacks up. You know, that would be great if he came in there and he knocked some heads off. I think that'd be really exciting to get a new guy coming in like that. But yeah, I know that top 15 bodybuilders, they're really hard to crack. So until you stand next to one of them in condition, we're gonna see what happens. Okay, next question. I don't think this is working properly. No, I don't think it's working properly. Do I think Patrick has what it takes? Patrick Moore? Yes, definitely. Now, I think first I had him really low at the next Arnold, but I seen some pictures, and man, he's even more impressive than he was at the Olympia. So I really think that the judges feel like they overlooked Patrick, and they're not gonna make that mistake again. I think they're gonna give him a fair shot. They're gonna call him up, and they're gonna put him next to people. If I was Dexter, I would be very afraid of Patrick. Steve Pluko, I would be very afraid of Patrick. This guy right here, he means business. He's working really hard, and he might hurt some feelings at the next Arnold, like 7, 8 weeks. So I really think he's gonna move up. They will not overlook him again. That's not gonna happen. He's too much of a buzz, and he looks too good. Next question. Okay. So what I want to talk about earlier was basically building muscle under fat. I think it is a horrible idea to do that, to build muscle under fat. So all my clients now, what we're doing is if I get somebody, let's say he's 250 pounds and he can be lean at 215, we're coming all the way down to 220. And when it comes down to 220, and then I'm going to start loading them up and start getting them bigger. I'm going to pick a protein level, pick a carb level, pick a fat level, and we're going to start building them up. Once he starts growing, then I'm going to start enhancing them, as you might say, to get them bigger. So all my athletes now, we're not going to have any off-season doughy looks. Everything, we're going back to old school bodybuilding, where you stay relatively lean all the time. They can do a guest posing at all times, and kind of like where Regan is now. He's building muscle, but he's still lean. So we're going to keep it like that. More questions here. I really think I'm doing something wrong here. Does Phil Heath come out of retirement? Phil will come back to the Olympia 2020, and Phil will win the Olympia 2020. That is 100% sure that he will do that. There's no way that Phil is not going to miss out on that, because he's looking at right now. Sean wasn't there. Bonac looked really good. Brandon looked really, really good. But Phil knows he can beat those guys any day of the week. Now, I do believe that Phil will have problems with Bonac, but I still think Phil can pull it out. And if Ramy comes in shape, everybody's going to have a problem. But that remains to be seen if Ramy's going to come in shape. He looks really good, though. Next question. Where can you purchase? Well, I have a lot of products. I have a cycle pad that's sitting right there. You just DM me on Instagram, CycleFitness21, and we can get you shirts, hoodies, all types of products. Next question. How can I train with you online? Best way to train me online is go through the Instagram, CycleFitness21, or go to my website, www.cyclefitness.com. Everything's right there, but the Instagram will walk you through the website. We'll get you right into the system faster. But if you want to go to the website and check everything out and check the prices and see everything I have, you can do that at cyclefitness.com. That's cool. Next question. What do I think about William Bonac? I think William Bonac is an extraordinary bodybuilder. You gotta remember, this guy's put on, what, 70 pounds since he started his career, 80 pounds. He's not a great big guy, but he packs a lot of muscle on that frame. He just did a video where he actually measured his arms at 22 inches, and he was cut. It's like there wasn't 22 inches bulk. They were actually 22 inches in a cut form. So, and he's still hungry. So I really think William Bonac is on a roll. I think by leaving his coach, Neil Hill, and trying new things, and I think this is going to be the third show without Neil, I'm really thinking he's on to something. So I would look forward to him being really good. And I think if Ramy's not in shape, William Bonac will win the Arnold in 7-8 weeks. Next question. Yeah, Bonac. Bonac has the Arnold. Bonac has Arnold. Now you gotta remember, Ramy dropped the photo. Now you know we all do this. Whenever someone drops a photo, that is the best photo out of 20 that they taken. So they didn't show hamstrings, they didn't show glutes, they didn't show quads. They show basically a most muscular pose on Ramy. We already know Ramy has the most muscle on that stage. So although impressive, I need to see those hamstrings and glutes, because the most muscular was never Big Ramy's weak point. It was his hamstring, glute, and overall conditioning. I want to see the lower back, I want to see the glutes, and I want to see the hamstring. Then I'll be impressed. Next question. How do I boost my natural testosterone? The best way to boost your natural testosterone, I have a protocol that I sell, and I basically work with you. And there's a natural testosterone where I try to elevate your free testosterone levels, not just the high, the long, just like the overall scale, but your free testosterone, what you want to do. So you can go to my Instagram, PsychoFitness21, or go to my website, contact us through there, and we'll get you acclimated to the system. Thank you. Second question. I'm on a diet where I like to eat. What are some good low-calorie foods that are filling? Well, what you're gonna do now? Fat is very filling. Is it low calories? No. For every 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories. Every 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. For every 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. But fat will help you curb your appetite. So what I would do, I trick my thing, I would lower the carbs as the day goes on and slowly increase the fat. It will make you feel more hungry. And then there's a real important tip. When you're dieting, thirst pains and hunger pains feel exactly the same. So make sure you're getting in your water. So I would increase my water intake, and do not take the water in while you're eating. Take it in after the meal, because you're taking in what you're eating. 2 things, the protein swims around your stomach, and then it creates more space in your actual stomach for you to have more insulin, and insulin makes you hungry. So drink water in between meals, not with meals. Increase the fat and lower the carbs at the end of the day. Try that. Next question. What do I put in a 501 cereal? Milk? No, definitely not. My guys will either put that, what you can do, you can take it and you can shred chicken and use ground chicken and actually emboss that into the chicken. Same with turkey. Not with eggs too much, but whey protein. So when I do the 501, my first meal will be whey protein and 501 for my first meal. All right, next question. How do I think height affects Bonac against taller competitors? Well, believe it or not, Cedric has a very big disadvantage when he's that tall. So, long muscles, that's a lot of real estate that you got to fill up, and it's very hard to stay full. That was another problem that Dennis Wolf would have, trying to stay full, because he's so tall, his metabolism was so fast, it was hard for him to stay full. They were able to do it, and I think online there's these huge carb protocols that they have for Dennis Wolf trying to keep him full. So what I'm trying to say is, I think Bonac's height actually plays in his advantage. It definitely does for Dexter, because they have a 22-inch arm on Bonac is a huge arm. A 22-inch arm on Cedric is nothing. So I don't think it's a hindrance. I think it actually plays to his advantage. Next question. Would I coach a natural competitor in OC Pro League? Of course I would. I have natural competitors now. I have a natural competitor, Celine, getting ready for the natural Olympia coming up. So yeah, of course I coach natural competitors. I actually learned more from natural competitors than enhanced competitors. And I think that's a big testament of how good I am as a prep coach. Because for years I was a natural competitor, and I learned how to make the diet work, and not trying to get the diet to work by enhancing the athlete. Next question. Hypertrophy. How to structure a workout to avoid hypertrophy? Okay, now the sad thing about it, if you're a natural athlete, let's say you have normal genetics, that you're not like a young Greene who was natural with super genetics, you have to do everything by the book if you're a natural athlete. So you can't be missing any meals, you can't be missing any workouts, you have to get your rest. There's things that an enhanced athlete can do that you just not afford that luxury. You have to be really on point what you're doing and really follow through. So with that being said, I find out more frequency, keeping blood and nitrogen in the muscle is better for a natural athlete than an enhanced athlete. So when I say more frequently, still not to the point of overtraining. Now, an enhanced athlete, you can kind of overtrain them as long as you give them enough food and enough sleep. It's fine. But a natural athlete, your recovery is going to be a little bit slower. You're not going to synthesize protein as fast as an natural athlete, so you can't overtrain. But I do believe in the frequency and consistency is the key to natural bodybuilding. Next question. My two favorite exercises for back thickness. Well, it's not really for back thickness, but pull-ups. I think pull-ups is something that I'm having all my guys go back to doing is pull-ups because it teaches you how to control and contract your back. Because you got to think about it. Doing a bicep curl and doing a pull-up is virtually almost the same movement. If you don't have good feeling and good engagement in your back, you can be working your arms. Hence why a lot of guys with great arms don't have great backs because the bicep is catching everything. So number one, train your back before biceps. So if you train your biceps on Monday, do not train your back on Tuesday. Everything is going to catch in the pre-exhausted muscle, which is your bicep. And the next thing, which I almost forgot the question, is bent over rows. I think bent over rows is really great for back this because you're pulling towards your body and you're getting it thicker. Like a lat pull down, I use that for lat depth to get the lats to fall down more towards the waist and elongate the back. But for actually pulling towards you, underhand bent over rows is really good for back thickness. Next question. What do I think of Stan Eppertein's vertical diet? I think nothing about it. I don't really follow other people's diet programs. I stick with mine. Now, I will read research papers from colleges and maybe this professor, he came up with new ways of proteins and fat, how to synthesize them, how to use them. I do read that, but as far as like going on and see what Hani Ramba's actual diet is, or even, I am a student of Chris Aceto, of course, because that's like basically my mentor when it comes to dieting, but everybody else, I don't even pay attention to what they do. Next question. Is there a protocol that you use when you're about to take a cheat meal? Is there a protocol that you use when you're about to take a cheat meal? I think you know I have a cheat meal protocol. I think you know that very well. DM me and I will sell you that magical cheat meal protocol. But yes, I do. Especially for women. Men can kind of like, as long as they're not pizza or something like insane, men can kind of rebound from a cheat meal. And a lot of them, if you do it, every 7 days, every 10 days, or every 14 days, it really can kind of help you. And use the word cheat and start saying refeed. Now, women, I will call it cheat meal because I think a lot of women need that for their mental focus and clarity and that carrot to actually chase and pull them through the diet. But men, it's more of a refeed. If you're having it, you're having that cheat meal or that refeed meal, it's for a reason, and I wouldn't want to, well, actually the protocol actually helps it, but don't think of it like that. You want to fill out and train legs the next day or hamstring or a weak body part. Next question. How to get a ripped physique. There's a few different ways. High protein, low carb, high fat. Or moderate protein, high fat, zero carb. That's one way. Then you do moderate protein, high carb, no fat. Those are the ways. Calorie deficit is not the ideal way to get a ripped physique, hence T3 and T4. And let me tell you why. If you're doing a high calorie or doing a low calorie diet where you're basically just like eating low calorie so that your body falls into a state of starvation so your body starts using fat, but it will use fat, but it's gonna primarily want to burn muscle before fat. That's why you have to eat to lose, because you want to preserve the muscle, and fat is burned inside of moving muscle. So you don't want to sacrifice fat or chase numbers to get a ripped physique. Next question. Set and rep range to increase quad size. So Let's start with leg extensions, which will be your warm up, and you're probably going to finish on leg extensions as well. So I like that to be 20-25 because I don't like heavy weight on leg extensions. I believe it destroys the knee. Then we're going to go into, let's say, a hack squat or a leg press. Let's go hack squat. Hack squat, be careful of your back, be careful of your knees. Make sure your feet are far enough from the platform, enough to where you feel it in your quads, but you're not damaging your knee. Do those, go all the way down, full range of motion, 12 to 15 reps. More like 12, more like 10. I don't want high reps on hack squats as well because of the knee implications that potentially can happen. Then, high reps on leg press, 20, 25 reps, super heavy weight, really good form, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. And then you go into the squats, and then you go into the walking lunges, and then back and kill it with single leg extensions. That's right for your ass. Next question. What is the best way to build big shoulders? First of all, just big shoulders in the IFBB means absolutely nothing. You want round shoulders and you want separated shoulders. So how do you do that? You work the three heads of the shoulder individually, okay? Some days with dumbbells, some days with machines, some days with cables, and then you do your pressing movements last. Upright row and shoulder press are virtually the same exercise. Do the upright row first and then go into dumbbell press, behind the neck press, and front neck press. That's how you build big shoulders. But think about shape and think about beautiful shoulders more than its actual size. If it's just actual size, you could be a football player. You don't want somebody to say, hey, do you play football? No, you want people to say, hey, are you a professional bodybuilder? So always have that in your mind when you're training. Not size just for the sake of size, but actually size, shape, tone, definition, symmetry. Next question. Do I speak Spanish? I gotta get better. I gotta get a lot better. I thought I was okay in Spanish, but I gotta get a lot better with Spanish because, as you guys know, this my pet project in Mexico is green lighted. So I will be building a gym in Mexico. We don't have a name for it yet, but it will be the Mecca of Mexico. Next question. Do I think Kai will come back? No. Kai will never win the Olympia. I think that although he is a big draw, I think Kai is making 10 times the money he was making when he was actually competing, and there is no advantage for Kai to come back to the Olympia. Now, if they wrote a check to Kai for $500,000, yeah, he would come back, and I don't see them doing that. But Kai is not going to win the Olympia. They're not going to let him win. And it's really hard. Now, Kai looks phenomenal. He stayed in shape. He looks massive. But it's really hard for a bodybuilder to go out of competing, go from competing to not competing for several years and then go back to competing. Tell me one person that left competitive bodybuilding and then came back. Now, Phil, he took one season off. That's not a big deal. Kai's like, 3 seasons off? That is a big deal. It's hard to come back with that. Next question. Intermediate bodybuilder, how many sets and rep range is best for gaining muscle? Well, you gotta start at a starting point because I don't know you. You have to start with a starting point. Let's try 4 exercises per body part. 4 exercises per body part. Sets, let's say 18 to 20 sets. Let's try that. 4 different things. 18 to 20 sets. Rep range, it all depends on the body part. I like 10, 12, 15, and around there. I'm not into 5 reps or 6 reps or 8 reps. I don't believe in that. I believe in time under tension or Cycle Fitness 40-15 to actually build muscle. I believe that you need 30 seconds of constant tension or stress on the muscle for muscle gain or shape. Next question. Do I change that in the off season to for pre-contest? Very little. You might see us do a lot more drop sets if the client is behind. You'll see me doing drop sets, or you'll see me doing drop sets if that person's body responds to it really well, like Sean Roden. His body responds really well to drop sets and giant sets because Sean eats all his food, he rests. So for like him, that's a perfect cocktail for building muscle. For Dexter, that would not do well for Dexter. Dexter works really well with 10 reps, heavy weight only. Next question. I haven't lifted in 4 months, and you're kind of soft. What should you do? Should you go on a cut, or should you start bulking? Don't do either. Just get in 6 meals, 5 to 6 meals a day. Start working out the way you used to. Slowly ramp it up, and your body's gonna dictate. If you're eating your 5 or 6 meals, and then muscle starts going, and you started getting leaner, doing maybe 15, 20 minutes of cardio after each training session, don't change anything. Just continue to do that. Now, if you're doing that for several weeks and nothing's happened, so let's decrease those carbs. Let's get that fat off and then bring it back up again. Next question. What would I consider overtraining for an unenhanced body? If you work chest on Monday and then you come back and try to work chest on Friday and it's still sore, you didn't eat enough, you didn't sleep enough, or you overtrained it on Monday. That's a fine way to tell which one it is. So that's fine when it says overtraining. If it's not recovered by the time you're coming back, or you're not getting stronger each week, another way to tell that you're overtraining, or under eating, or under sleeping. Next question. How important is time and attention? Like I stated earlier, I believe that you don't even start counting reps until you get to 21 seconds of constant tension on the muscle. So you'll see 21 on all my clothing, and that's telling you 21 seconds of constant tension, nothing's gonna happen at 19 or 18 or 15 seconds. You need constant tension of the muscle to stretch it, and then you can go deeper and deeper into the fascia to stimulate growth or change. Next question. Okay, you're 120-pound man. Should you work out one body part a day? That's what I would recommend, first of all, for you. I would get my diet correct. I would throw a few beef meals in there, a few chicken meals. If you only would take in the 2 shakes, if you can't get the other food in, but you're gonna gain better on actual food than you will a protein shake. Now remember, a protein shake is only to supplement your food. You got all the food in, you need 50 more grams of protein, bam, slam a protein shake. You're leaving the gym, you're gonna eat in an hour and 10 minutes, you don't wanna go catabolic, slam a protein shake. You're out on a date, you're at the movies, okay, I got a protein bar and a protein shake, slam those things. That's what a protein shake is for. If you're home, maybe right before you go to bed, but any other time, if you can eat, you need to eat. You need to eat food. That's gonna help you grow. Keep the rep range around 10 to 12. Don't work out too much. Try 30 to 40 minutes and increase. If the muscles are getting sore, you're good. If they recover for the next time, you're good. And then see if you can grow. Use fat to slow down your metabolism. Next question. I said that I am a believer of push-ups and pull-ups daily. How many sets and why? Okay. My thing, I first started working out in the hood, and I would work out with these guys that were in prison for 2 to 3 years, and they would come back and they would have these amazing physiques. I mean, amazing physiques. And I would ask them how they accomplished that, because they had no protein shakes. They definitely didn't have any steroids. They didn't take any vitamins. They just was eating and training. And then they said they only had 1 hour on the yard. So how did they build these amazing physiques? Okay. one thing, I think adrenaline. I think the fear, and they felt that they had to get their bodies big for protection and all this stuff. I think that had a lot to do with it. Next thing, although they only got 3 meals, those 3 meals was a complete and balanced diet that was made by a nutritionist, right? That jail had nutritionists, and they had the oatmeal, and they had their whatever, blah, blah, blah. It was the state board's nutrition meal that was a balanced meal. Next thing, they only worked out for an hour. Yeah, outside. They would go back to the cell, and they would find a way to do pull-ups. They would do rope, and they have a towel, and they pull it back and do more stuff. So it wasn't really an hour. It really is an hour, maybe 2 hours. And sometimes they did that twice a day. They would find a way. They would do push-ups. They would do pull-ups. They would have their cellmate hold a towel, and they pull the towel back and forth. Sometimes they would take the towel, they push it like here for biceps. So they were doing stuff like that, and they built these phenomenal physiques. So that's why I'm a firm believer in overtraining. I'm a firm believer of stressing the muscle, and I believe in balanced diet is very important, but a balanced diet is very important. So you should always take your multivitamin, because that complete what the food doesn't have. Next question. How much for the psychopath behind me? That is my personal psychopath that I have never used. I only made that color for myself. And that psychopath, the next car I built, that was gonna be the color of the interior. I'm selling that psychopath for $250 plus shipping and handling. But that's my psychopath. It's brand new, and I love that pad. I love that flat color like that, and with the red stitching on it. But that one goes for $250. I'm not making that color anymore. I promise I'm not. So all the next psychopaths, they're gonna be flat color like that, purples, yellows, reds like that. There's no more black pads. I want the pads to stand out. $250 plus shipping and handling. You want my pad? Next question. Can I tell you how to fix your V shape? You have big thighs compared to everybody. Okay, congratulations for having big thighs. It is better to have big thighs than not thighs at all. So that's a good problem to have. So what you have to do, there's 2 things that create shape. It's not chest and it's not arms. It's shoulders and it's back. Start doing pull-ups every day to engage and learn how to contract your back. Do 2 back days a week. And then two shoulder days a week, and train your quads every 10 days. Next question. Favorite athletes from the 90s. My first inspiration was Lee Haney. His back, and I think that was the actual first videotape I ever bought, was Lee Haney Animal Kingdom, I think it was. We had the yellow, and his training partner was rope. And I love his training style. I watched that video 1,000 times. And then I was really into the next favorite bodybuilder then was Vince Taylor. Vince Taylor he did a lot of breakout at that time, and he was a little bit older. And then after that, it was Chris Cormier, Flex Willard, Paul Dillette. Ronnie Coleman has to be my favorite bodybuilder of all time. Ronnie Coleman of 98, 99, 2000. Next question. What did I get? Okay, how important is it for meals and protein timing? It's 200 grams of protein. So they're having 3 meals a day, and your equivalent of 200 grams of protein. 200 grams of protein, not that bad. It's not that bad. But if you're doing a carb diet, 3 meals is not going to do the trick. Because remember like this, if you're doing a carb diet, you understand that your body feeds every 1 hour, 2 hours. So it feeds on whey protein for the first hour, and then casein and whey mixture of the 2 hours. That's how your body was made since conception in your mother's womb. If you look at the chicken and the egg is the white part, and it eats the yellow part, which is actually casein protein and fat. That's all it is. There's no carbs. So our bodies were designed to primarily run on fat. And the cavemen, same thing, run on fat. So, but later on, we start having vegetables and stuff like that. So even in caveman days, it was protein, And not every day they got protein, because sometimes the villagers didn't get anything and they had vegetables, and then they start throwing in carbs later on. So 200 grams of protein, 3 meals. You might be sacrificing if you're not in keto. If you're in keto, you're fine, because ketones will be your primary fuel source. Fat will be your primary fuel source, and as long as you're thinking, your body will have to mobilize the fat to extract the ketones out of your brain, out of the fat cell, to feed your brain. Sorry about that, got jumbled up. So I would say at the least you want to do is 4 meals, maybe 5. Unless you're doing keto, you're fine. You can do 1 meal on keto and be perfectly fine. Next question. If you start working out at 44, can you still build muscle, or did you miss the bus? Now, the only problem you're going to have at 44 is trying to get really big legs, because the 3 things you need to build big legs, most likely you're going to lose them. That's a good lower back, and those are great knees. So therein lies the problem. So to answer your question, of course you can build muscle, start working out and build muscle at 44. But what you need to tell yourself, you need to have your gains and your goals. You have to have your goals obtainable. You don't think you're going to start from 0 to nothing and win the Mr. Olympia contest. That one, I would say, good luck. But if you want to look really good in your clothes, you want to do some local regional shows, no problem, and win those local regional shows. Getting up to the pro level, you kind of already need that muscle to get to that point. And even if you enhance yourself, I wouldn't say start taking antibiotics at 44 unless it's a really low dose or a PCT dose, because things are not as strong as they used to when you're 20. So I would just say work out hard, have fun with it, enjoy yourself. If you start doing some local shows, I think you can win those shows, but make sure your goals are obtainable and reasonable and logical in your mind. Next question. Okay, 6'5", chest is narrow, and your insertions are narrow, something like this. So now, when I see people and they have a lagging chest, now with me, I never liked the big chest. I like big shoulders. I actually like that part where the shoulder was bigger than the actual chest. I didn't like the part where the chest stuck out and the shoulders looked like breasts to me. It really wasn't my thing. I love big round delts. So, and how did I achieve that? I would try my best to focus on using my shoulders when I was doing chest, and I see that's a lot of mistake that you guys make when you guys do chest. You're really working your front delt mostly. So what I would do let's say 6 sets of flies to warm up the chest, slow engagement, get it pre-exhausted, and it's very important. If you got your hands straight right here, you're working front delt. You're working primarily front delt. You will get a little residual chest in there, but that's mostly front delt when the arm is straight across. You have to drop that elbow down and get up under, and get that tension on the actual pectoralis muscle. Next question. If I'm 16 weeks out, should I still do pull-ups, push-ups, and chin-ups every day? I think even more so. You should do them that far out. And I didn't say pull-ups. I didn't say chin-ups. I said pull-ups, because I don't want you to work that bicep during a pull-up. So let's focus on the pull-ups, not the chin-ups. Next question. Okay, notice the scale is moving very moving slow, meaning like that. The scale is moving very slow, but you see your clothes are looser. That would be a great indication that you're gaining muscle as you lose. If you see that you're getting smaller and the scale is staying the same, you could be gaining a lot of muscle. And what you're losing all the girth in your joints, and your booty's coming down, and your abs, your waist is getting smaller. That's a really good sign. You don't want to see the scale like that, because you're not burning fat that fast. 2.5 for a super genetic freak, maybe 3 pounds of fat you're losing. Anything more than that, you're sacrificing muscle. So the first 7 weeks of the diet, You really don't want to see that scale come down. What you want to see is your appearance getting better, that you're getting leaner, and the scale kind of hovering around into here. Once you get to the 7-week mark, now I kind of want to see that scale coming down, see some cross striations coming there. But at 6 weeks, but the 7-week mark, there shouldn't be any fat that you can actually grab or pinch, even on your waist and your glutes. It should all be uniform all over your whole body. Next question. How many grams of protein per meal? You heard eating 50 grams of protein per meal, it won't be absorbed. Now, is that true? For a natural person, yeah. But if you're an enhanced athlete, you can assimilate a lot more protein because you just change your biochemistry by taking anabolic steroids. So you can take in more protein. And then sometimes in bodybuilding, we can't take in more carbs and we can't take in more fat, but we can take in more protein. Although it's not going to be assimilated, we do need the calories to keep the weight up. And I would rather you do that from actually protein than actually more carbs or more fat. Next question. All right, check this out. This is the person, the Nordic Cup. You're considering me. So you're considering me to hire me as a coach. And can I take you to the top? So I get that question a lot. I get a lot of DMs and they say, "Here, Psycho, here's my pictures. Can you make me pro?" I don't know if I can make you pro. Because you becoming pro, there's a lot of guys up there that want to stop you from becoming pro. But this is what you do. Instead of saying that, send me your best picture and say, "Psycho, can you have me look better than this?" And that I will guarantee. That I will promise you. That you will look better for each show and you will look better than your best look. Whether you go pro or not, that's not up to me. So imagine this. You send me your best picture and then we beat it. Then we get rid of this one, now this is your best picture. And then we do the same thing. This, and this next one, and this, and then that. And then we keep doing that. If you keep knocking the door, somebody's going to answer. If every time the judges see you, you're getting better and better and better, that equals going pro. So that I can promise you that you will be in your best shape ever. Next. What I think about Dorian Yates, one of the best bodybuilders to ever do it. He is in my top 5 of all time. Work ethic, I love to see him. I love to see Dorian now. When I see him on Instagram, and he's like doing his yoga and he's smiling, and he's happy, he's touring. That's how it should be. I think you should get into this sport, win as many titles as you want to win, and then retire, and then us fans keep supporting you, and then you're just happy. And I never knew Dorian when I saw him, but I didn't know Dorian back when he's competing. He was very quiet and very serious. Now when I see him now when I talk to him now, he's happy, he's joking, and that is a very beautiful thing. So I love that. The same thing with Jay. If you watch Jay's story on Instagram, he's always smiling, always laughing, always in a good mood, and that's the way it should be. Not some disgruntled bodybuilder and all messed up and broke down, but at that. And even Ronnie, although Ronnie's having his health problems, you never see Ronnie not smiling. You never see him not joking. And once again, I love Ronnie for the sacrifice that he made to inspire me and all you guys. Next question. Okay, so the guy that asked me about the pad, well, you know I have 2 pads there at Coast that you can use whenever you want to. Don't walk out with them because you are on camera. So, but if you really want this pad from my home gym, Copeland, I'll sell you that pad for $250. Now, I guess there's no shipping because you live in Hawthorne. And this is a really nice pad. As I'm thinking about it, it's a matte pad. Look at this. Look at this pad. Isn't it nice? This is my favorite pad. And I do double stitching right here, so it won't tear, it won't rip, and it's very good reinforcement back. All right, he wants my pad. Everybody wants my pad. All right, next question. Do I know, he said, you know breast milk is 90% carbs. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know breast milk was 90% carbs. Okay. All right. Thanks for the information. If I ever need a carb drink, I can call you. Hey, everybody. Breast milk is 90% carbs. I don't think I ever gave anybody breast milk on the diet plan. I don't think that's ever requested, but I do have a story. That's a true story. So I remember when I used to train a lot of women back in the day, and then I would interview. Now it's a questionnaire because I learned not to ask women certain questions. So it was an African lady, and she said, oh, I just had a baby, and I said, how's your baby? Oh, so my baby's 3 years old. And I said, okay, good. So you're not breastfeeding, so that's why you gain the weight, because when you stop breastfeeding, sometimes the weight goes up. That's why a lot of women continue to breastfeed, because it keeps their weight down. And she goes, well, I'm not really breastfeeding the baby. And I said, what, are you still pumping? She goes, no, my husband likes the milk. Whoa, okay. Husband likes carbs. Okay, next question as I drink my water. What is my opinion on full body? This person works a lot, and they get hungry. So I train my lawyer. I have to in case I get in trouble. I'm always running my mouth. So I train my lawyer, and she doesn't come in consistently. So when I train her, I have to do full body on her because I'm trying to keep her weight down so it won't spiral out of control. That's what I use full body for a regular person. Then let's say if someone's behind, let's say a comparison behind, we'll do quads and then finish with a back pump, or we will do chest and fill it with a hamstring pump. So now, if you can't eat that much, take out all the carbs, because carbs make you hungry. So what I would do, I would switch over to keto. Keto will kill your appetite if you're doing it correctly. And you remember, like I told you before, 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So it's a good way to get your calories up and not create too much insulin, because insulin makes you hungry. Next question. How to remove chest fat. Now, if you got the chest fat right around here, if you're on a cycle, that's estrogen. You're probably taking too much androgenous test and it's converting over into estrogen. That's usually what that is. And a lot of men, and that can be two things: too much testosterone, or not enough testosterone if you're older. So what I would do the push-ups every day. I would lower my carb level, and if you need to, go in and get your blood work done. You want your test level right around 450 to 7. You want it in there for a regular man. The doctor may give you some cypionate to take and raise your test level up. If not, I have a natural protocol that I can prescribe you and get it up to 500, 600, 700, and I think you'll be all right. Next question. What is the best way to build upper chest, and how often should you do that particular exercise? So now remember, I'll do dips for lower chest. I've taken flat bench totally out of the equation. My guys will not be doing flat bar bench anymore. They can do dumbbells, but I'm not doing barbell anymore because it's too much sacrifice on the chest, and I don't want to tear any pecs. So we will do incline dumbbell, we'll do incline barbell, and we'll do incline flies, and then we'll go to the dips, and then we do the dumbbell flat bench press. I think you should do that twice a week, along with the push-ups in between those workouts. Next question. Do I still think that Victor Martinez has what it takes to crack the top 5 at the Arnold? Yes and no. I think Victor Martinez still has a lot of gas in the tank. I think he's a great athlete. And at one time, he was one of my favorite bodybuilders when he was up there. And he should have won the Olympia one year, in my personal opinion, but he didn't. But you gotta think this: Bonac is not cool with Victor beating him. Cedric is not cool with Victor beating him. Ramy is not cool with Victor beating him. It's not how much heart or drive that Victor has, because I know Victor's giving 100%. I know he's giving it all that he has. I know he's right there in the same gym as Steve Weinberger, or if he's not at working weight training. It's other guys that are not trying to let him have that spot. It's not the person. So I say he can't get that. You know, back in the day, a king was a person with the strongest will. A god was a person with the strongest will. Those names that I just mentioned, they have a very strong will, and they are not just going to lay down and let you pass them up. So I wish my best to Victor. I love that he's still competing. I love that he's coming back. But those guys ahead of him, Patrick Moore, what's his name, Akeem, Sergio, they don't want Victor to win, and they're not going to let Victor win. He's going to have to take that. So I wish him all the best. It's going to be a great show. I will be there. Next question. What is the best way to bring up lacking body parts? Okay, sleep, eating, and just overall rest. And then there's 2 ways. Either train them more frequently or less frequently. That would depend on you charting everything down, and let's see how it grows. If not, work with me, and I'm pretty sure, I promise you, I can bring up those lagging body parts. Next question. Did I get the car to the dyno? No. In fact, the car is actually down. Well, I took the El Camino. So I have an 83 El Camino with an LS3 engine in it, 4L60 transmission, Posi, Corvette brakes, really nice car. Basically, this is my second time totally redoing the car. So what happened was, I have 2 issues. The steering box, I think it's a little loose. The steering wheel is still like a little loosey-goosey, and all the components, sway bars, ailerons, bushings are all brand new, but it's a little sloppy like that. So I was gonna take it somewhere, but most likely I'm gonna end up changing the gearbox and get a tighter ratio gearbox. That's a turning. Tighter ratio meaning it handles better. And I have an issue with somebody poked a hole in the muffler when they were putting something on there. I got an exhaust system muffler, so I'm either gonna change the muffler or have them TIG weld that muffler so it'll sound better. Next, so the issue was, I took it to the sound shop and he said, "Oh, your bass is off." I said, "It is?" He says, "Yeah, every time you disconnect the battery, the amp shut off." So I thought the lamps had these lights on, I thought they were still working. So he went in there and he turned it up, and I was like, whoa, the music was like, it was like really, like, I was like, had a lot of thump to it. It's wasted on me because I don't even listen to radio when I drive. So he turned it up, and then I end up shortening something out with the fuse box. It was too much power going to this fuse box. So I have all this 2020 technology going to an 83 fuse box that probably they put on there. They were using the same one since the 78. So it shorted it out. My mechanic, he was busy and he had been paid. So he really wasn't tripping about it. So I went to a shop, they sent their guy over, he was an old guy, and he rewired my fucking car like it was a friggin' old car. And basically he tried to bypass the computer, and you can't do that. On all these cars, even your car, all your new cars, the computer operates the car and tells the car what to do. So he took the fans and ran them straight to the fans straight to the battery or to the ignition. He took the fuel pump, ran it, and that's old technology. So anyway, the owner of that shop, he has to come over and fix my fucking car and get it back to normal, and then fix the problem because I don't do wiring. And now my other mechanic, he's mad because I let somebody else touch it. So he got his panties all in a bunch. So the car is sitting outside, just been sitting there for freaking 2 weeks, not driving. So got to do that. All right, next question. Does protein spike insulin? If it does so, how long? Now, protein doesn't spike insulin, but your body converts everything into sugar in the form of glucose, and that glucose must be carried to the beta cell, and it needs insulin to do that. So whenever you eat anything, your body has to go into your stomach, and once it goes in that cell, it has to carry the glucose to the beta cell. So, but it doesn't do like white rice, like bam, or a cake, like bam, or a diet, or a regular soda, like bam. It doesn't do that. It does do this, like that. So that's why proteins are low glycemic. That word low glycemic. White rice is high glycemic. Fruit is high glycemic. So whey protein, since it's so pure, it will, bam, it will spike up your insulin. But lean meats, they don't do that. And insulin only works for 1 hour. I don't care if it's chocolate cake or it's a steak. It's only gonna work for 1 hour. And after that, it's in the cell and it's done. If it works, if insulin doesn't take the glucose to the cell, that's called diabetes. Next question. How can I build a big upper back? Same way. The deadlifts, T-bar rows, hammer strength, you know, the one right here, the high row is really good. But if you really want a good back, and I'm telling you, if you go to my page, my Instagram page, and look at Terrence's back, he's only been in the game for a year, and he's got multiple first places, and for most of that time, he was completely bone dry natural, and he's never taken one injection at all, and he's 37 years old. Psychopath. That's how Terrence achieved that back. I'm telling you guys, it's a psychopath. I have videos that I will send you when you get it, and I'll constantly drop videos of how to use a pad. Terrence's body was made with the psychopath. That's the truth. Next question. Can I talk about how to lose fat on a carb diet while fasted? Do you drink aminos before cardio? Okay, so if you've been on my Instagram, you know I don't want anything in your body before your fasted cardio. That's why it's called fasted cardio. It needs to be done on an empty stomach. And the problem, you say, well, Chris, my aminos, they don't have any sugar in them. It's 0 carb. First of all, that might be 0 carb per serving, okay? 0 carb per serving. You throw 2 heaping of scoops, you may have 2 or 3 or 4 grams of carbs. Read the fine print. Now, once you have those carbs in your body, whether it be 2 grams or whatever, your pancreas produces insulin, grabs the glucose, and carries it to the beta cell. That's called fat storage. Your body cannot do multiple things right at the same time. So your body cannot store fat and burn fat at the same time. It is scientifically impossible. You cannot inhale and exhale at the same time. It is scientifically impossible. So if you drink that amino drink with those 2 carbs, insulin is present in the stomach, you're in fat storage mode for 1 hour. For 1 hour. Even if it's just a little insulin. For 1 hour, it's present in the stomach, and you cannot burn body fat. You're done for that 1 hour. Now, will you get in the cardio and will you sweat? Yes. If you, let's say you burn 1,000 calories and you only put in 2 calories, you only put in 3,000 for the day, so you burn more calories, you're in a calorie deficit, you will still lose weight. But what's the point of doing fasted cardio if you're not burning body fat, right? All right. Next thing, you might say, well, I looked, and it doesn't have any sugar. It's totally derived of sugar, but it's sweet. It has a sweet taste. Your brain may tell your pancreas, oh, there's something sweet in the stomach, send insulin. That's called a fake insulin spike. That is extremely common, and it will happen, especially to women. Can I tell you how many times I've been training women, and their weight is stuck. It's just staying. I said, hey, tell me something. Are you drinking anything for your cardio? No, not at all. No, nothing. I just get up and do my cardio. Are you drinking water? No, nothing. Then they come into town and I see them doing cardio and they got a big old thing of amino acids sitting right there and they're chugging them as they drink it down. I say, you're producing insulin and you're not burning any fat, so you have to cut that out. And then remarkably, they start drinking just water and then they start getting cut and their body starts moving along. So fake insulin spike, one. So then you might say fat burning pills. I might let you slide with that because it's, I might let you slide with that. So what I would do, I would take L-carnitine, it has to be in the pill form because the liquid, once again, there's carbs in the liquid L-carnitine and flavoring. L-carnitine pills, CLA pills, and then one digestive enzyme so your body will recognize it, and water. Next question. Oh, thank you. So you like what I'm doing with the lives. Thank you very much. Hey, if you guys like this, I don't know, can you do hearts on there? Can I get some hearts or no? No hearts? And guys, can you please like this video and please share it with your friends and family. If you don't want to share it, you can just look really, really smart when you start regurgitating the information that I'm giving you here. And it doesn't matter to me. You don't have to share it. You don't have to like it, but it will help boost me up the algorithm and help me get the word out and where we're actually getting good knowledge out there. Because you have to know there's a lot of false knowledge out there on the internet. And I have nothing to worry about. There's a lot of knowledge in this old brain of mine, and I love sharing it with you guys. So if you guys could like and share the video at this time, that would be great. Thank you very much. Next question. Okay, what is it when you feel the pump in the beginning of exercise, then after a while it kind of dissipates and fades away? That could be two reasons. You're losing the pump because you deprived of glycogen. You don't have enough glycogen in your body, and you basically burned out what you had. So that's why it's very important to have one meal an hour before you start training. And then, let's say, Chris, I had 2 meals, and I know I have enough carbs. Let's do some black coffee with a tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt in there. That'll raise up your blood oxygen level, and I promise you will get a pump. And that is a really good combination. A non-stem fat burner, a cup of black coffee, and a tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt if you're on keto, because it's really hard to get a pump when you're on keto because there's no glycogen. All right, next question. We're almost done with the water, so let's get some good questions going. What's up, my boy Sam? Like, you guys see me on here and I'm like Psycho, the big time prep coach, but there's a lot of people that supported me when I was just a trainer at your local gym, and my friend Sam Phillips here and Dale Cunningham were people that before I became this huge guy, whatever, that they supported me and actually paid me for my knowledge. And Sam looked really, really good. He's a police officer. Thank you for your service. And he's also acting as well. So what's up to your son? And I saw Dale the other day. He came over. We talked and laughed and talked about old times. And I appreciate you guys. Sam Phillips, that's a personal friend of mine and also a client. All right, next question. Do I like Sergio Olivier? No, I don't like Sergio Olivier at all. Let me tell you something. This is the honesty channel. I'm not gonna sit there and just shit on somebody for no reason. I'm not a clout chaser. I'm not a vulture. I'm not a culture vulture. But I don't like people that are mean or just lie for no reason. So Sam Phillips. So my friend Sam, he used to work with Dale Cunningham, and these are really good guys. And cops sometimes get a lot of bad pub, but these are really good cops. These are the kind of cops that you want living next door to you. These are the kind of cops that you want showing up, and these are some really good guys. And I know them personally. I've heard their conversations, and also they're really good fathers, something I really respect. So I remember Dale, which it didn't matter so much, but Dale walked over and said, "Hey man, we have the same trainer. Oh man, you were training with Big Chris." And Sergio goes, he never trained me. He never trained me. And Dale was like, no, Big Chris Lewis, he trained you. No, he never trained me. So Dale takes 2 steps away and he goes to my Instagram and he sees all these videos of me training Sergio, and he just lied. And it's not just me. I just brushed on. I don't care. You don't want to claim me. You don't have to claim me, whatever. But the real is real, right? But I'm in the inside, and you guys, some of you guys in the inside, and most of you guys on the outside. But everybody on the inside, they know how Sergio is. They know how he is, and he's not a nice person. He's not. Yeah, I don't know if it's something mentally wrong with him or whatever, but he is not a nice person, and I don't like nice people. And I don't like putting people like that in power so they can be mean to other people. I don't know anybody that Sergio has not went off on because of what his dad did. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. And you can tell him I said that. He can step to me whenever he wants to, and I will say it to his face. And if he doesn't like that, we can take it outside on the real. So there's other people out there that are good people. There's other people out there that are so-so. Sergio's a piece of fucking shit. Next question. I recommend push-ups and pull-ups in between workouts. No, I recommend push-ups and pull-ups either at the beginning of your workout or the end of your workout. I would like the beginning. It should be a part of your maintenance before you even get warmed up. Next question. Oh, how many sets? Let's go 4 sets, 3 or 4 sets. You're not trying to build it. You're just keeping a pump in your chest and a pump in your back. You don't want it to atrophy. Because remember, building muscle is we break it down and it comes back stronger. We break it down and it comes back stronger. If we break it down, it's not really effective. But we do want to keep blood and nitrogen in there so it won't atrophy, meaning the muscle only stays there because it thinks that it's needed to complete a task. So we want to make sure the back doesn't lose all the blood, all the nitrogen, and start to atrophy in between workouts. So that's what you're doing. You're just getting a pump in it. You're not trying to break it down. All right, one more question and I'm going to get out of here. When can you pick up the pad? Are you really gonna take my pad, my personal pad that I've never used? You really gonna take my personal pad that I never used? Oh my God. I'll be at the gym tomorrow at 10 o'clock, $250 cash, and you can have my pad. All right, on that note, I'm gonna say goodbye. Anybody want diet and nutrition, you can DM me on Instagram is the best way. Here, none of that. DM me on Instagram and we can get you guys going. I do need 5 to 6 days to get your diet because all my plans are custom made. None of them are regenerated diets. And even your workout, I sell workout plans for $150, and I'll do your whole workout, everything, videos, whatever you guys need, how to use the pad, use what you have. A lot of times, same thing, 5 days, 6 days, because I may say, hey, I need a video of your gym, because what's the point of me telling you do this machine and you don't have it? So, and I send out a plan. It's just like me sending my kid to college. I want the best for that plan. I'm giving that plan to you, and I want it applicable to what you're doing. I don't want to send out a plan and then you're like, oh, this is garbage. I can't do this. I can't do that. So that's why there's a lot of back and forth before you get a plan. So DM me, and you can buy a plan on Instagram. PsychoFitness21 is my Instagram account. My YouTube, you're already on my YouTube, but that's PsychoFitness21 as well. And my website is www.psychofitness.com. My connect email is psychofitness. It's Chris at psychofitness. No, it's Chris at psychofitness.com or info at psychofitness.com. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please like and share this video. Good night.